Good morning, everyone. I am here at the office. If you live near where I do, we got a bunch of snow over the end of the weekend into the early of the week. So I'm working through getting caught up, probably just like you guys are. But I wanted to talk today about a really good book and some activities that I want to do with you guys. So the book that I have is called When Grandma Gives You a Lemon Tree. And if you haven't heard of that book, that's okay because it's still relatively new. But what we're going to do is we're going to read the story and then we're going to do some activities that follow. So let's get started. When Grandma Gives You a Lemon Tree, written by Deenihan and illustrated by Lorraine Rocha. You're hoping for one of these: robot dog, drone, computer, phone, remote control car, and headphones. But surprise! It's a lemon tree. What should you do when Grandma gives you a lemon tree for your birthday? First of all, act excited. Your face should look like this. Not this, and definitely not this. Next, say something polite. Try, "Thank you, just what I needed." Keep smiling until Grandma leaves or falls asleep, and do not harm your lemon tree. Don't drop it off a bridge or tie it to your birthday balloons. And definitely not play ding dong ditch the lemon tree. Now listen closely. This is important. Place your lemon tree in a sunny spot. Be careful not to overwater it, and prepare for the battle against intruders. When winter arrives, keep your lemon tree warm. Then wait. And wait. And wait some more. Once the snow melts, it's time to bring your lemon tree back outside. Well done! Sure, you can decorate your lemon tree or hide behind it. Come out, wherever you are. But you know what's even more fun? Picking lemons. Woohoo! Pick them, slice them, squeeze them. Come on, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze-a-roo. Ta-da! Now you have lemon juice. You don't think I'm just going to leave you a lemon juice, did you? Of course not. Remember those gifts you were hoping for? It's good you're staying focused. Gather these items: lemon juice, water, a pinch or a handful of sugar, and then number 4, a flashy lemonade stand. Cue the dazzling smile and ka-ching! Count your cash and head to the store. Now you can finally buy exactly what you want. Something you can really enjoy. And share with others too. So what did you think of the book? I personally like it because it has the meaning of not thinking things aren't what you need or want. I think that oftentimes when we get stuff, we kind of take it for granted, or we get upset because it's not what we wanted. But in the end, it actually worked out because it's something that she was able to use to get what she wanted. So it was kind of a need thing for her. If you have a favorite part of the book, I'd love to hear it. One of the funny parts that I found in the story is when they were talking about how she should react to the tree. It took myself a lot of years to get past that part, and I know that my boys both struggle with that, and I'm sure you probably do too. Um, so what we're going to do today, we're going to make um, a battery out of a lemon, and we're going to make some lemonade. Um, so yeah, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another great video regarding some STEM activities. So, I always try and think of things that we can do with the things that you have at your house. So, don't ever feel overwhelmed by what we do here. So, first of all, I wanted to ask, what did you think of the story? How Grandma got her a gift that she didn't really want, but as time went by, she was able to get the things that she wanted from it. So she learned to appreciate what she was given. And I think that's a very powerful message for everyone, including myself, because sometimes we tend to take things for granted or we don't appreciate the things that are given to us. And ultimately, what you do with what you're given is what happens. So she grew a lemon tree. So we're going to do a little activity here with the lemons. Uh, First, I wanted to ask, have you used toys that have batteries? I'm sure most of you probably have. So how does that exactly work? So what I have here is a picture of a battery, and what the battery does is there is a copper rod or a different metal that's conductive inside of it, and then this whole casing is filled with another um, metal or conducting surface. So what's happening is essentially we're pulling electrons that have a negative charge to the other material, and that's where our chemical reaction creates the electric current. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a battery out of lemons. So you're going to need some basic things. You're going to need lemons. I would say probably at least 4. The more you connect to it, the stronger the current's going to be, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. You're going to need several wires with these little tiny alligator clips on either one, and that's to help connect the different lemons as we go. So first thing, and this is very important, and it's important because unlike in a battery, we have materials that are not naturally conductive or create a chemical reaction. So you want to take your lemon and you want to kind of roll it. You want to roll it firm enough that it feels like it's flattening down, but you don't want to squish it to where everything comes out. And if you notice, there's going to be a couple drops of the lemon juice, and actually that's what's going to create or finish our connected charge here. So we're going to need these lemons. We're going to need some pennies, just good old standard pennies, and then we're going to need a metal zinc. Now I have zinc screws. You can use a paper clip. The difference between the two is the paper clip isn't a solid zinc, so it has very little to work with, so your end result's going to be not as good. Ultimately, it's what you have around here. And if you look real close on this screw here, I don't know if you could see it, but this end of it here is black, and that's the part that was in the lemon when I was first originally doing this. So what we're going to do is have mom or dad help you with this, and mom or dad's going to cut a little tiny slice in the lemon here, and we're going to take and we're going to put a penny in it. Alright, you're going to do this to all 4. So go ahead and insert your pennies into the lemons here. And I'm going to keep mine kind of all going in the same direction just because it makes it easier to remember where the wires go. And then we're going to take our zinc and we're going to put it about 2 finger widths apart. So you want to take your 2 fingers like this and you want to touch it down on there. I'm only going to use one because I have bigger hands. If it's not exactly that, that's okay. The idea is to just make sure that there's a space between them and they are not touching. So what we're doing is we're creating positive and negative charges within here. And we have to connect them all together because one lemon will only produce about 1 volt. And the light that I have today is this one. And see how it lights up? Well, I have a piece cut off. It's going to take about 4 volts, which is about where these are. That's why we have 4 lemons. So first you're going to take one wire and connect it to the zinc screw or paper clip. Then you're going to take that wire and connect it to the penny on the next lemon. You want to try and not touch the actual lemon with it because it'll disrupt the flow of the chemical reaction when you do the juice like that. And then we're just going to follow this process down here. Oh, get that one a little far. If you get lemon juice all over the lemon, you can wipe it down with some tissue. That's all right. And it's tricky because the wire is not going to be very forgiving. Alright everyone, so now that you have it connected, we're going to take our little LED, our light emitting diode, and that's what LED stands for. We have it sitting right here, and I've already connected the wires on this side, and I did that so I knew which way to put it. So we're going to connect one side to there, and the other side to the penny. And if you look real careful at your LED, it'll light up. Now you might have to dim the light, so let me turn off the light in here. Let's turn off this light too. Now if you look real careful, my light's not working. So what you're going to want to do is take your hand and go over top of the LED and you'll be able to see that light light up. Let's put this on here. And you can play around with it. You can switch the sides and see what happens. Okay. So we're going to switch the two sides here. And if you notice, nothing happened. But when I switch it back around, the light came on. I don't know if you can see it or not. So yeah, so it's a real fun experiment, something to do. So let's see what happens when we touch just one side of this wire to our tongue. I don't recommend doing this with anything other than the lemon battery here. So if you touch it there, you notice that nothing happens. But if you take both wires, you'll start to feel a light tingle. Maybe your tongue will start to taste a little different. And that's the connection going through because the saliva on your tongue is salty, which helps that chemical reaction go through. So yeah. So not to waste anything, in the story, our young girl, she created lemon juice, right, out of her thing. So has anyone ever made lemon juice at home? Did you do it from scratch? Okay, if not, that's okay. We're going to talk about how to do that here. So go ahead and pull all your screws out of your lemons. And then you're going to need to cut them in half. So it's important that you have mom or dad help you, because I do not want any of the young children watching these videos to use sharp knives. Okay, so I've got my knife and I'm going to cut around here. Alright, so when you open it up, you can taste it before you do the next step if you'd like. Try not to squeeze them too much, only because we are going to need to squeeze them to make our lemonade. I have a small knife, so I kind of have to get a little creative here as far as how to cut these. And then you're going to have something similar to this. This helps squeeze the juice out of the lemons. Sometimes you'll have one that looks like this and then you're going to go over top. So let's give this a try here. And you're going to want to do this into another cup or a bowl of some kind. And if you get seeds in it, it's okay. We can always get those seeds out. Alright, so we got a little over half a cup of lemon juice just out of these 4 lemons. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your container. I already put 4 cups of water in here, and it's important that amount. So basically you're doing 1 cup per lemon. So if you have more lemons or you want to make more juice, you know how to add those in there. So we're going to dump that in there. Okay. And then you're going to sugar to taste. Something like this, I would start at a cup or half a cup if you prefer. So we're going to go, we'll stop about a half a cup here. We're going to put that in there, and we're going to put our lid on to make sure it's real nice and sturdy. Okay, and this part's important. Okay, you're going to just shake it up, kind of like at a fair when they make the lemonade for you out of fresh lemons. So you're going to want to stir it, shake it till it's about all the sugar's been mixed together. And then you're going to pour it into a cup and try it. So let's see how did it turn out. Just like I used to have when I was a kid. So I hope you enjoyed making a battery out of lemons and then reusing our lemons to do something else. You want to make sure that you can reuse as much as possible, recycle. So until next time, talk to you guys later. Bye. Let's get started.